Welcome back, nerds. Welcome to the Nerd Shack.
Welcome to the show. What do we have for you today?
We're going to talk about our favorite pastime as nerds, comic book reading. Hashtag support your local comic book shop. They need your love.
Yes, we're going to talk about one of the greats. One of the things that really gave a run in the 80s for even like the legendary superheroes. We're talking about
G.I. Joe.
Hero.
Real American Hero. 1982, launched the comic book by Marvel. And then 83 pushed this toy line, and then pushed the comic books, and then they pushed the cartoon.
Yeah,
which we all
sadly
love.
ended in the year 1984, though. But the whole run was just a magical reading experience as a kid. I loved the stories. And it was like the perfect time frame because I feel like the first 50 issues weren't super exciting as the later issues. And I was a little more older. And
you remember these? Oh, yeah. So many memories. And it brings me back to California. Our actually comic book shop was a combination of comic book shop and pet store. So I had the best of both worlds.
Yeah, you ask your dad for a dog instead. You say, hey, how about this G.I. Joe comic book?
Or you ask him for a snake, and he's like, how about Snake Eyes for 75 cents? And I'm like, okay, that's a good deal, Dad. I love it.
Yeah, you can't go wrong. It was great.
And it was just a magical time to read comics back then. They were amazing. Lirahama, shout out.
And it really sold the toys also. Like, genius.
Yes.
Genius.
And so, back in the day when I adulted or was turning a teenager, I had an entire box of comic books, the big old white box of comic books. And I wanted some CDs, and I wanted Nirvana. I just released one of their albums, and I was like, oh, on a CD, I need to have it. So sadly, I sold all my comic books. I've been trying to rebuild the collection, but now it's like, $7 for one comic book. That's kind of crazy. Been traveling. My brother mentioned, hey, Kickstarter's doing something. I'm like, Kickstarter, what?
Yeah, I actually saw the Kickstarter. I told my brother about it, but I didn't actually make the purchase. I went with the cheaper Continuum. It's the first 50 issues. It's nothing fancy, but I thought it was pretty cool. It's basically a phone book of all the comics, the first 50. It's not fancy, like I said. The printing isn't amazing, but you get the whole story there.
Yeah, I turned from that to that, which is nice because it keeps it all in one central location. So I was really sad. I thought I missed the boat, and I'm like, dang it. I wish I would have jumped on that Kickstarter. My wife says, guess what? I love you, honey. You want to know how much I love you? And I'm like, how much? She's like, I love you this much. And I'm like, you really love me. The complete collection from Kickstarter of G.I. Joe comic books from 1982 to 92, I believe.
94.
94. Huh? Stand corrected.
Oh, beautiful. Look at that.
Check
that
this
spine.
out. Look at this. Amazing. Like, the texture is just amazing. And the foil. Oh, and then it feels so special. Not to sound sacrilegious, but this is like the G.I. Joe Bible. It's every G.I. Joe comic book you could ever want, all in one. And the colors are so vibrant.
They really are. They did an amazing job.
This is something proud to put in your study. And yes, I'm a G.I. Joe collector. I think they did a really good job. They have Snake Eyes, Scarlet, everybody's favorite Stalker. Look at that. Look at the detail. That's awesome. We got blue for Stalker. And then they have the original American hero, Duke. Joe. Like, check out that gold. Duke is gold for sure.
It really is the ultimate version.
And I just love all these stories, and I'm super excited to get back into it.
And just the print of it, it's really just the best quality.
And if you were a Kickstarter, they had some extra little goodies that they threw in there, which kind of made it a little bit special. You got some limited edition collecting cards. Remember when the G.I. Joe collecting cards came out, mid-90s?
Oh, yeah.
I think it was. You could buy them, and you were buying them in those little green packs, and you were trying to get, I need Firefly. Special. Lirahama. Zap. We'll open these on time lapse so you can take a look. There was some black and whites. There was also our favorite posters. You remember when it was cool to put posters in your room?
Always cool to put posters in your room.
That's true. I believe you're right.
Yeah.
Yo, Joe! So very cool. There's a few of those. And there was some special lithograph Lirahama original artwork, which I'm excited to put these in a frame. I've always been a fan of his artwork. And upside down. Let's see. What?
That Baroness one's really cool.
And then we got Baroness. And then, ta-da,
But the Snake
Eyes.
The Snake Eyes one's really cool.
Yeah.
Like, that's probably my favorite one.
Snake Eyes is probably my favorite Joe of all time. On the comments, let us know, what is your favorite G.I. Joe character? What's your favorite comic book? And are you still reading comic books?
What's your favorite issue of the G.I. Joe?
And if you're not reading comic books, go to your local comic book store and support them and buy every comic book. Yeah. So I'm just super excited to put this in my study when I have a study. But how amazing is that? That is awesome. So we just wanted to show you. I was super excited to get it, and kind of brings me back to childhood. And the artwork is amazing. The stories are amazing. And
I don't know. Can you get these still, like, aftermarket? Or is it just an arm and a leg?
Yeah, it's not as good of a deal as when Kickstarter did it, but it's very cool.
And when are we going to get the second volume?
Hopefully soon. But yep, we just wanted to shout out, nerds. Tell us your favorite comic book. Let us know your favorite character. Like, subscribe, smash that like button. We appreciate you. And support your local comic book shop. Shout out, brothers. Peace.
Bye.